Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we are going to make a Dark Knight Metal video. It's something I should have done probably in January during the anniversary event. Sadly, too late. Here we can see the Bat Axe emblem. Basically, I'm going to show you a few of the characters you can recreate from Dark Knight's Metal, but also I'm going to show you the emblems from basically the set they released for the Dark Knight's Metals. Basically, there was this box that you could purchase during the anniversary seasonal, evil crypto. And in that box, you had a handful of emblems, and you had also the enhanced version of those emblems. I'm not going to show you all the emblems, I'll probably just show you the enhanced version, although I'm not sure if I have the enhanced version right now. There we go with the enhanced version. Basically, I'm going to show you all the emblems, but I'll probably just show you the enhanced version to try to keep it short. I know it's a big challenge for me. It's very easy for me to end up making a long video. So let's try to be brief. So basically, these two axes, there's not really a character that wears this emblem. Basically, this was inspired by on one of the covers, you had a Batman type character with like two big axes, and they decided to make an emblem pretty much in the spirit of that cover. The next one is called Emblem of Dementing. I remember seeing this emblem in some of promotional material. Basically, wherever there's a red dot, you had one of the Dark Knight's Metal emblem in there. I'm not sure if the circle of the star actually means anything within that context, other than just something for promotional material to show off all the emblems. And also, before I forget, I'm sure some of you guys are wondering where can we get those emblems? Let's take a look. So here you can see on the broker, you can purchase the Emblem of Dementing for roughly 1.5 million for the enhanced version, and a little bit more for the regular version. I'm not sure why the regular version is a bit more expensive, but it happens. Originally, those came from a box that you could purchase from the anniversary event vendor. Sadly, the anniversary event is behind us. So either you are going to have to purchase the emblems on the broker, or you're going to have to wait until next year when the anniversary event makes a comeback, and then you're going to be able to purchase them from the anniversary event vendor. And for the emblem of the Bat Axe, as you can see, the enhanced version is even cheaper, 775,000. And somehow the regular version, roughly 3 millions. So it happens. Next, we are going to take a look at the Red Death. There is an emblem for the Red Death. There is also a full set of gear for the Red Death. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. But even before we got this set of gear for the Red Death, we could recreate a pretty darn good version of the character. And even way back then, we didn't have the emblem. So way back when, we had to use the Circle Wing emblem, but eventually they gave us the actual Red Death emblem. For the headpiece, obviously I'm using the Flash Cowl. The face mask is the Riveted Ventilator. The shoulders are the Vengeful Surgeon. The chest piece and the pants are the Stalwart Defender. The gloves are the Daring Vigilante gloves. The belt is the Speed Force Spectrum belt. And obviously I'm using the Flash boots. So using all those, we could create a pretty darn good version of our friend, the Red Death. And obviously I'm using the negative Speed Force material because why not? If you don't have the material, this is what the character can look like without the negative Speed Force material. So again, pretty darn close to our friend the Red Death within the limitations of DC Universe Online, obviously. And of course, I'm using the Sparking Aura. So let's see how expensive the emblem is on the broker. So you can see the regular version is roughly a bit more than 1 million, 1.2 million. And the enhanced version seems to go all the way down to 815,000. And as I mentioned, we have an official version of the Red Death style. This seems to be pretty much the most popular version of all the Dark Knight's Metal characters. So I'm not surprised that they gave us this. Style to begin with. For those of you who don't know, this is basically a mixture of the Batman and the Flash together. Somehow, Batman and Flash ended up being mixed together somehow, and they became the evil character known as the Red Death. This obviously is the enhanced version of the style, but there is also a regular version of the style. So it's a pretty darn good looking suit of armor. And it was quite popular. I've seen quite a few players using this style, or at least a few pieces of this style. I myself used it for a handful of characters to recreate various look. For example, if you ever saw my Yellow Lantern, an armory or two are using a few pieces of the Red Death style. And where oh where can you get the Red Death set of gear? Let's take a look. So the Red Death set of gear comes from the Paradox Time Capsule. As you can see, if you look in the description, you can see the Speed Metal gear. That is the Red Death set of gear. So if you want the Red Death set of gear, sadly you have no choice. You have to open Paradox Time Capsules, or you have to purchase the gear itself straight from the broker. And just in case you're wondering what the style looks like with the negative Speed Force material. And you can see the back piece becomes, let's say, a little funky when you use a material with it. So if you're going to use, let's say, the negative Speed Force material, then you may as well use a made-up version of the Red Death character and just use the Red Death emblem. And next on our list is the Drowned. You can recreate a somewhat looking version of the Drowned, and you can see also there's the Drowned emblem, obviously. We're going to take a look at that in a second. But there's also an official set of gear for the Drowned, so I'll show it to you in just a minute. But basically, you can recreate a somewhat looking version of the Drowned using the Dark Knight headpiece, the Lobo chest piece, the main man. I'm using here the Spindrift shoulders just for the fun of it, so that I can have the emblem on the shoulders, but a whole bunch of shoulders could do the trick, or even no shoulders would probably be even better. Here you can see a pretty nice big version of the emblem on the back piece, obviously. For the gloves, I'm using the Power Girl gloves. The belt is the Shimtar belt. The pants are the Retro pants. The boots are the tall classic boots. For the enhanced of the Drowned, there seems to be only the enhanced version of the emblem, and you can see it's roughly 1 million for the emblem. And of course you can see there's pretty much the whole set of gear that you can purchase, either the enhanced version or the regular version. For the Drowned, I probably should have used a bit more black, but I did not want to use the sparkling shiny effect on the chest piece or on the pants, so I'll use more black on the regular version. So obviously this is the enhanced version of the style. And as I showed you, you can purchase it from the broker, but I will show you the time capsules in just a second. So you can see it's a pretty nice looking style, pirate looking Batman. For those who don't know, this was basically a mixture of Batman and Mera, if I'm not mistaken. And for the Drowned gear, originally it comes from the Cursed Gotham Time capsules, but as you saw, you can also purchase it from the broker. Also, a lot of you guys have been asking where the trident in the back comes from. Now you know where it comes from. It comes from the Cursed Gotham Time capsules. But again, if you're only looking for the trident, don't open time capsules. Just buy it straight from the broker. If you're looking for one specific item, don't open 100 time capsules. Just buy the one item you need from the broker. And here's the regular version of the style. I had a bit of a hard time to try to reproduce the accurate colors from the comic. There's two reasons for that. The main reason is that I saw, I don't know, a billion pictures of that costume, and no two pictures had the same color or even the same design, come to think of it. So pretty much any artist out there who worked on the comic, it seems, had a different interpretation of the costume. As much in terms of how they would draw the details, but also how they would color the costume. And next we have the Batman Who Laughs. I had a hard time recreating that look. Basically, I'm using the Batman Dark Knight headpiece, or the helmet, the gunslinger chest, the shoulders, I think I'm using the Drowned shoulders or something like that. No gloves. For the skin, I'm using the undead skin. For the eyes, I'm using one pair of goggles, but there's a whole bunch of pair of goggles that could do the trick, so don't worry about that. For the boots, I'm using the midnight boots, and the pants, I'm using the cargo pants. So this is a somewhat nice looking version of the Batman who laughs. And the reason why I'm using the three skulls is that I've seen a lot of pictures where you had the Batman who laughs was holding like three pasty white looking robins on a leash with chains. So I thought the three skulls kind of could fake that effect a little bit. And it kind of looks creepy a bit, so I thought it fitted with the character. For the emblem, there's no emblem for the Batman who laughs as far as I know. So there you go. Obviously, the Batman who laughs was a version of the Batman mixed with the evil Joker. And here we have a version of the Batman that was mixed with Cyborg. I forget the detail, but basically we had Batman who ended up mixed with Cyborg somehow, and it created something that pretty much looks like that. In order to recreate that look, I'm using the Traces in Time chest piece, the pants, and the shoulders. Obviously for the emblem, I'm using the Murder Machine emblem. And for the headpiece, I'm using the Batman Beyond headpiece. And the aura is the mechanized aura. So this is fairly close to the look that the character had in the comics. And for the emblem, as you can see, the regular version is roughly 1.5 million. And the enhanced version is a little less than a million. And next we have the Emblem of the Merciless. Basically, it's Batman and Wonder Woman mixed together. For the headpiece, I had to use the Red Death headpiece. The shoulders are the Gorilla shoulders. The chest piece is the Stalwart Defender. The belt piece is the Lobo belt piece. Here I'm using with the little Themyscirian shield in the back. It has a Wonder Woman emblem sort of on it, so I thought it was appropriate. The pants are the Valiant Knight pants. The boots, I'm using the Zone Walker boots, and the gloves are the Corrupted gloves. And it works well enough, although with the boots, as you can see, I couldn't get them blue like the rest of the armor. The obvious option would be to use a blue spark material to have everything match, but sadly, as you can see, we kind of lose the eyes of the character. Although if you don't mind, then I would use probably another headpiece for that look. If you don't mind losing the eyes of the character, then I would probably go and use the nth metal headpiece. I guess I wish we could use the material on the skin of the character as well. Oh well, maybe in a future update someday. So this is pretty much as close to the Merciless as you can get, using obviously the Merciless emblem. And let's go take a look at that emblem. So again, you can see the regular version of the emblem somehow is more expensive, about 2 millions. But the rest is goes from about $500,000 to $750,000. And next we have the Dawnbreaker. Basically, Batman and Green Lantern mushed together. And it created a pretty darn good mixture. And obviously I'm using the speed metal back piece to be able to get a whole bunch of bats. Could use, I guess, the Swarming Bat aura, but then I wouldn't be able to use the green aura, so I prefer to use the green aura with this version of the character. It's fairly easy to reproduce. The Dark Knight headpiece, the Dark Knight helm, the goggles, the Sinestro gloves with I'm using the glowing material, obviously, the Spindrift shoulders. The character didn't have emblems on the shoulders, but I kind of like that look somehow. The belt is the Cybernetic belt, New Genesis pants, and the Hush boots, the Vengeful Surgeon boots. And again, on the shoulders, the belt, the gloves, the boots, and the goggles, I'm using the glowing material. And obviously, I'm using the glowing aura as well. And here you can see the regular version of the emblem is 2.3 millions, and the enhanced version of the emblem is 1 million. And sadly, there's only one of each, so you have no choice. If you want the emblem, these are the ones you have to purchase. Obviously, I have to give my usual warning. These are the prices on the broker right now. I can guarantee you tomorrow, next week, next month, the prices will be different. So you have been warned. And for those who would have been tempted to scream blasphemy because I did not have the green ring on my character, well, here we are. Not only do I have the green ring, I have the green movement mode as well, or movement style as well. So as you can see, you can recreate a pretty darn good looking version of our friend the Dawnbreaker if you want to. And last but not least, the Devastator. Basically, it was easier to reproduce than I thought. I'm using basically the rock skin, and I'm using a whole bunch of gear from the Sunstone style, the gloves, the shoulders, and the back piece that comes from the Sunstone style, and the boots are the plant boots. And the face piece is the Huntress face piece, the Vigilante's Justice. And obviously that's the emblem of the Devastator. Let's go take a look on the broker. So as you can see, the regular version, roughly 1.2 million. The enhanced version, it goes as low as 1 million, but roughly between 1 million and 1.2 million. So as you can see, it recreates a pretty darn good version of the character. From what I recall, it's a mixture of Doomsday, Orion, and I'm not sure how Batman fits into this. From what I understood, it seemed to be more a mixture of Orion and Doomsday somehow. But I'm sure some of you guys could fill in the blanks in the comment section down below. For those of you who might be interested, I did make videos about the Red Death in the past, and also I made videos about the Dawnbreaker. So if you want to look at those videos, feel free to do so. And that is pretty much it for now, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.